I've spoken with classmates, past boyfriends, and people are generally bewildered as to why Erika is now publicly representing.
Who is the real Erika Kirk?
Sex sells fair.
Sex sells.
Wow.
That's me.
Charlie supporters, the issue isn't that people change. The issue is whether the transformation reflects genuine growth or a calculated repositioning to fit a new audience and a new power structure.
Erika thought she had everything locked down after clearing out the insiders at TPUSA who could expose her. She thought wrong. Because according to new claims coming out right now, the threat isn't coming from a fired employee this time. It's allegedly coming from her own best friend, someone ready to blow the entire operation wide open and reveal how Charlie was allegedly nothing more than a piece on her chessboard while she quietly moved to take control of TPUSA. And speaking of people getting pushed out, TPUSA's new management has been on a serious cleaning spree, firing employees left, right, and center. According to sources, the majority of people being let go are specifically the ones who showed loyalty to Charlie. Reports even claim that Erika herself reportedly talked about getting rid of the Charlie fans inside the organization. Take Aubrey Locke as an example, a 4-year employee, gone.
And then they started singling out people, and they would pull them out one by one to go outside and smoke like a cigarette. Now, when it was finally my turn to go and talk to them, they approached me and they asked me, hey, what are your views on Israel? And I just told them, I think Israel's a good country. At the time, I thought so, at least. And they told me, okay, well, what do you think about, Mossad and, Israeli forces? And I was like, they're all right, yeah. And they were like, what if we told you we're part of it, Israeli groups and forces? And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I'm like, and you work for Turning Point, right? And they were like, yeah, we do. We've been working for Turning Point for the past 4 or 5 years now.
Because of a taxi ride. A taxi ride. Here's how it went down. A high-ranking TPUSA member climbed into a cab. And like most drivers making conversation, the driver mentioned that his daughter's friend worked at the organization. One thing led to another, and the driver reportedly shared that, according to his daughter's friend, most of the staff weren't happy with the new management. That was apparently all it took. The dots got connected, the employee got identified, and just like that, Aubrey was out the door. Let's be real for a second. Everyone vents about work. You come home after a long day and you talk to your partner, your friend, your family about what's going on. That's just being human. Not a leak, not some kind of inside operation.
And what was told to me was that a Turning Point executive got into an Uber one day and they randomly just kind of started talking about Turning Point. And the executive asked the driver, what do you think about Turning Point? And the driver proceeded to tell the Turning Point executive, well, it's just really sad. I've heard the organization's really going downhill. There's not really a direction and nobody likes Erika. And the Turning Point executive proceeded to ask this Uber driver, well, who told you that? And the Uber driver told the Turning Point executive that his daughter was good friends with a girl that worked at Turning Point way back when in high school. They had spoken about Turning Point since Charlie's assassination, and that, this was told to him by his daughter. And the Turning Point executive, of course, asked, well, what's the employee's name? And the Uber driver allegedly said, Aubrey. Aubrey who? Aubrey Leitch. And the story was presented to me as one of the reasons for my termination.
And considering how Erika reportedly threw everyone straight back into work after Charlie's passing without a pause, without space to process what happened, it makes complete sense that staff would talk to people close to them about the stress of a new management style. So the real question has to be asked. Is TPUSA's new management now trying to control what employees say in their private lives? Because if a secondhand comment overheard in a cab is enough to get someone fired, that tells you everything about what they're so desperate to keep from getting out.
We have so much to do, which is exciting. Charlie in heaven is like, you guys thought you had a busy schedule then, just you wait.
Candace Owens also reported that executives have been pulling people into offices and demanding to know where their loyalty stands, with Erika or not. In another case, a person reportedly had TPUSA's in-house legal team show up at their personal home to deliver the news that they were fired. Then, they demanded the person hand over their company laptop and delete nothing. Another staff member thought she was being called in for a bonus after pushing hard through a major event and keeping things running since Charlie's passing. Instead, she walked into a termination. No explanation given whatsoever, despite $250 million raised during that period. She reportedly believes Turning Point may have installed monitoring software on company laptops.
You have
amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. And I do not judge that.
Because the night before, she had privately told another employee that she wasn't impressed with Erika's leadership style. So the new standard at Turning Point USA is now total and complete loyalty to Erika. No questions, no doubts, no room for anything else. Which makes you wonder, what exactly are they working so hard to keep hidden? Could it be the internal financial audit of TPUSA, the one that was reportedly Charlie's final mission before everything changed? Or could it be something far deeper, like the claim that TPUSA has been quietly taken over by outside intelligence interests?
This is how good the Lord is. He knew that because I was not dating in New York City, he knew that in order for me to know that that was my man, he had to blanket Charlie as a job interview.
If that idea holds any water, it makes it much harder to dismiss the account of a former employee who described something very unusual during his very first week on the job. According to that account, longer-standing members took the new hires out under the framing of a welcome party. But what was actually happening felt far more calculated. They would bring newcomers in, one by one, and ask them point blank, "What are your thoughts on Israel?" Not conservative policy, not the Constitution, Israel on week one, before you even knew where anything was in the building. If those accounts are accurate, that was never a welcome party. That was a screening process. And it raises a serious question about exactly who was running that screen and what they were really looking for.
That young man, on the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Because here's what sources were saying before everything fell apart. Charlie Kirk had reportedly been pushing hard for a full internal audit of TPUSA. He allegedly wanted to look closely at the finances, the staffing, and the overall direction the organization was heading. Whether that audit ever got started remains unclear. But what is clear is that with Charlie gone, that effort appears to have completely disappeared, and in its place, a very different vision has taken over. Erika has been forging alliances that would make the original TPUSA completely unrecognizable, including, somehow, Nicki Minaj. And if you caught the moment where Nicki called J.D. Vance an assassin live on stage, you already know things have gone somewhere strange. This is not the TPUSA that Charlie built.
Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than...
I think you're a bright light in a very dark place.
So let's go grab a mojito.
How she never dated.
I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
And the optics here are worth paying close attention to. Charlie Kirk was well known for being drawn to a very specific kind of partner. Someone faith first, family first, and far away from the spotlight. By all accounts, Erika played that role perfectly while Charlie was alive. Reserved, quiet, devoted. But the moment he was gone, it's like an entirely different person walked into the room. Erika has been everywhere. Fox News appearances, talk show stages, lights and pyrotechnics, publicly celebrating merchandise sales, donation numbers, and hat orders, like someone who had been waiting a long time for exactly this moment.
The Lori knew. The Lori knew exactly what I needed, which was Charlie. And the Tyler knew that I would have to be sat down and told that, it was a business opportunity, and what the Lori knew was probably everything about Charlie.
And according to people who claim to have known her before any of this started, maybe she was. That's where Candace Owens enters the picture. Candace has been digging into Erika's background, and what she's allegedly uncovered has raised serious questions. Old friends who knew Erika long before TPUSA say they genuinely don't recognize who she has become. Not in the normal way people grow and change over time, but in a way that feels carefully constructed. The claims about never drinking, never dating, steering every conversation back to faith, wearing religion like a shield. People who knew her say it doesn't match the person they once knew. Now, one of Erika's former closest friends has allegedly stepped forward, and the honeypot theory is suddenly coming into sharp focus.
I will never forget the time I was in Israel with my husband, that was the second time, but the first time with my mother on a pilgrimage. And I was standing in the ticket line, and I remember looking behind me, and in the snake of the ticket line was a guy who looked very familiar. I had no idea who he was. And I told my mom, this guy looks so familiar. And as a typical mother, she said, go and say hi. No. We were late for our flight, and I'm not going to come off like a crazy person that's just weird. That ended up being Charlie. Nothing is by coincidence.
Erika once talked about how she first encountered Charlie at an airport, long before they ever officially crossed paths. She said he felt strangely familiar to her right away, so much so that her mother, Lori, encouraged her to go speak to him. She reportedly refused at the time. But sources are now saying that meeting was never a simple coincidence. According to these claims, Charlie had allegedly been set up to cross paths with Erika organically for years. When that didn't happen naturally, Tyler Bauer reportedly stepped in. He introduced Erika to Charlie directly and then spent months in Charlie's ear, consistently singing her praises and painting her as exactly the kind of partner Charlie had been looking for.
Last week, we introduced you guys to Tracy Martin. Remember, Tracy Martin is Erika's best friend for over 15 years. How close are Erika and Tracy? They've done everything together. Tracy says from Romanian Angels. Erika modeled for her clothing brands.
And now that Charlie is gone, Erika has allegedly been steering Turning Point directly against everything he stood for. No internal audit, celebrity interviews, real estate moves. According to Candace, Erika has been using Charlie's memory and legacy as a tool. And now, multiple insiders who have known Erika for years are reportedly ready to talk, including her best friend of 15 years, Tracy Martin.
Privately, he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority.
Could Erika have been Charlie's handler all along? A carefully positioned backup plan that was set into motion once Charlie started questioning the system, once he began losing trust in people he had previously believed in completely? Could that be what Charlie discovered before he was killed? Right now, that's the question everyone is asking. Do you think Erika was placed in Charlie's life deliberately? That their meeting was never the coincidence it was made out to be? Could that be the truth Charlie was closing in on before it was too late? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this story is only getting deeper. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and watch the next video, because where this goes next is something else entirely.